Okay, so my camera already. Okay, let me just, before I introduce myself and everything, let me just tell you I was going to record this on my phone, and as I'm pressing record, does it not tell me that storage is full? Enemy of progress. So anyway, I'm recording on my Mac, but I'm using my iPhone, which I didn't even know I could do. I didn't even know I could do. Yo guys. Anyway, so hello, hi, hi. Okay, let me. Oh, okay, I think I like this setup. Hi, my name is Naomi Kumalo, but I go by Nao, and I am the founder of Refigure Active. So, I thought I would create a mini series of me on my journey to launching my brand, which I launched my brand in just under 20 weeks. I'm not going to say the exact number yet, but I launched my brand in just under 20 weeks. So I'm really, really excited. And no, let me just start again. Okay. Hi, my name is Naomi Kumalo, and I am the founder of Refigure Active. Okay, no. Hi, my name is Naomi Kumalo, but I go by Nao, and I am the founder of Refigure Active. So, I am about 17 weeks away from launching my first ever business. This business is so special to me, and I just wanted to document this journey from now to launching because how often do you get to launch your first ever business, and how often do you get to relive those moments? And I think for me it's very important that I document this journey because launching has been such a journey, and I really just want to create a archive of sorts of memories that I might forget but are very important. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I don't want another challenge where I'm recording something and then I feel like, oh my gosh, I have to edit it and it's going to take so long. So I'm just here, you know what I'm saying? I've only got my eyebrows, I'm wearing a house shirt because I just want it to be as authentic as possible. Now, yeah, I just want it to be, okay. Hi, my name, okay, yeah, okay, Yobantu. Hi, my name is Nail, and I am the founder of Refigure Active. Okay. Hi, my name is Naomi Kumalo, and I am the founder of Refigure Active, but I like to go by Nail. And I am about 17 weeks away from launching Refigure for the very, very first time. This is my first ever business, my firstborn. So I wanted to record and archive this process for myself to look back on because it has been quite the journey. And I think sometimes when you're so focused on a goal, it can be easy for you to forget how momentous it is for you to accomplish the goal, especially when you're doing something that it's been on your heart for a long time, or you're under resourced, or you're really getting it out the mud. So I don't have a script, but I would like to keep this video rather short so I can edit it and post it quickly. Because one thing about me is I'm gonna stress about, oh, I've not edited properly, it looks weird. Da, da, da. I just want it to be as authentic as possible because for the most part, like, this is what my life looks like. I am behind a desk, I'm typing away, I'm researching, working, just doing as much as I can to make sure that the business comes to fruition. So why not just show you what the day-to-day looks like? I would rather start how I want to finish rather than to present something that's inauthentic. So let me tell you the story of Refigure, because I know you're probably thinking, like, Refigure Active, like, what does that sound like? A sportswear company, another sportswear company? Aren't there like millions and millions of sportswear companies? Why is yours so important? But if you can hear the noise, I just live in Gotham City, so don't mind that. Anyway, so Refigure Active actually comes from a very personal story. Like, it's very near and dear to my heart. I'm trying to think about whether I should let the sirens. All I hear is sirens. I'm trying to figure out, like, do I let the sirens pass? Is it annoying? Is it bothersome? I don't know. Anyway, again, I'm gonna try and edit it the best I can, but if I can't, excuse it. This is real life. So, like I said, my business is very personal to me, and it comes from a very like tumultuous time in my life, I would say. So when I was about 17, I fell into the deepest, darkest depression I think I've ever really encountered. And I've always been a very active and fit person. Growing up, I played a lot of sports. I did a lot of athletics. But when I moved to the UK, a lot of my life changed. Like, my life as I knew it changed, and it was just very hard for me to process that change. So I fell into a really deep depression, and really the only thing that got me out of that depression is movement therapy. I like to call it movement therapy because I don't feel like the only way you can be active or you can be fit is going to the gym. So that's why I just like calling it movement therapy, because you could be running, you could be walking, you could be dancing, just anything that helps you move your body, right? So when I was 17, I picked up movement therapy again, and it really helped me get out of that bad mental state that I was in. But one thing I realized as I was going through this journey is that I couldn't find any activewear that suited me. And when I say suited me, that I mean something that was fit for purpose, something that was actually created for a plus size body. I couldn't find anything, and it was so disappointing because I was going to all the major brands, and it kind of sent out the signal that you can only get sports clothes or activewear once you're of a certain size. But really and truly, everyone should have access to activewear if the real sole focus is that we're promoting health, because obviously movement therapy helps you live a healthy lifestyle, which can help you in so many different ways. So I didn't really understand why it should be like, oh, only if you're UK size 16 then you can go to the high street and buy sportswear or activewear. That didn't make sense to me, because there are other people who enjoy sports, movement therapy, fitness, who might be a size 24, who might be a size 28. So I had the idea for the business then, but I wasn't very confident because, like I told you, I was going through a lot of like mental health issues at that time. But I was preparing to go to university. I was going to study advertising and marketing, which is my bachelor's degree. And in my mind, I thought, okay, well, I'm not feeling too confident in starting my own business, but maybe I could work for one of the major brands and enact change that way. So as my career progressed, I did fall into sports marketing at some point, and I was working at JD Sports, and I also did work at Under Armour. And what I've noticed is that plus size women are just an overlooked category in so many aspects, but also in sports and fitness. Now, regardless of whatever stage of life I've been in, I've always maintained a fitness routine, a movement therapy routine. So even throughout all those stages, even when the body positivity movement came and went, plus size bodies were still overlooked when it came to actually delivering activewear that is functional, of high quality, that lasts long, and really addresses those pain points of, things that bigger women deal with, like, I don't know, just like your waistband is rolling down, or the material is sheer, or in between the thighs, the material starts disintegrating. So like you're always having to buy more plus size, you're always having to buy activewear that is not functional. So then you're not really able to immerse yourself in your movement therapy or your fitness journey. And it was only last year that I was able to get the courage to actually say, okay, no, let me go and start this business. And how that came about was I was finishing my master's, and the university that I was in was doing an enterprise program. And if I'm being honest with you, I saw that opportunity and I applied, not necessarily thinking I was going to get very far. At the time, I was also going through a lot of like stress with work, because I was working at the same time as doing my masters. So I really wasn't thinking much of it. But in the end, I ended up winning the grants. I ended up winning the funding. And once I got that funding, it really instilled confidence in me, because I was pitching a business to a room full of people who would not be my audience. They are like, a lot of the people that I was talking to were not plus size, and it like the business wasn't for them. And the cohorts that I was a part of, a lot of amazing businesses. So I thought, no, like they're not going to choose me, but they did choose me. And with that money, I decided on the 12th of April 2024, I was going to go full throttle and create Refigure Active. And it's so crazy to me because it's almost 10 years later that I actually found the confidence to do this, and it's always been in my heart. So this is why it's so important for me to launch for me to document this last leg of launching, because this business, you could say that it's been 10 years in the making. So yeah, that's sort of like the story of Refigure Active, and our philosophy is about creating size inclusive activewear for curvy women who live an active lifestyle. Like I've said, I don't think that fitness or wellness and health should only be for a specific demographic. I don't think that only specific kinds of people should be able to walk down the high street or go online and find clothing that will support them as they do whatever activities they want to do, whether it's running, cycling, dancing, whatever it is. I feel like you should be able to go somewhere and have confidence that when you're giving them your money, the exchange of goods is that you are going to have something that is comfortable to your body, that is not just created as an afterthought, something that has been created intentionally, that addresses the differences between those who are in the straight size category and those in the plus size category. So that's what Refigure is about to me. And I really think about it like it's building a community, and actually we are like creating our own world. I don't necessarily feel like I'm competing with the major brands, because if they wanted to create plus size activewear that was adequate, they could have done that. They have billions, they have manufacturers, they have the supply, they have the equipment, but they don't, because plus size bodies are demonized, especially in the fitness industry, where if you are a plus size person who is participating in physical activity, a lot of people just assume it's weight centered, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. I mean, I've gone through so many different life stages, and all these different life stages, weight has not always been the center of my focus as I go through movement therapy. To be honest, for the most part, it's always been mental health related. I understand the benefits that happen for me when I'm moving my body. There are some moments in life where I've gone to the gym, but I'm still not eating very well, and so like I'm not losing weight, but all that matters to me is that I'm moving my body. Right now I'm at a stage where I am training for high rocks, so I'll also be taking you along this journey, because again, in training for this competition, the activewear that I've tried to find has just not been functional. Whether it's like I'm going for a run and then the waist is like rolling down, or whether I'm doing intense activity and I'm not feeling comfortable because the clothing has no stretch, or I'm having to buy stuff from Amazon, for example, and I don't really want to give Amazon my money because I know that it's not going to last me very long, it's not of quality, but I can't go to other brands and give them my money knowing that I'm gonna get that fair exchange of goods in return. So yeah, this is the story of Refigure Active. I'm also going to be taking you along my high rocks journey, like I said, because I want to showcase to you how, again, whether you're identify as someone who's plus size, whether you're mid size, whether you're straight size, whatever fitness goal you have, whatever movement therapy you decide to opt into, you are allowed to take up space within that domain. Don't let anyone make you feel like, oh, I can't do this because I'm fat, or I'm this, or I'm that. Like, I'm not necessarily a runner, but through practicing and through training, I've been able to really see myself as someone who enjoys running as part of my movement therapy. Whereas before, I would have been like, no, I can only do strength training. I'm good at strength training, which is true. I've been strength training for a number of years now, but now I've added running into the rotation, and really I don't know, embedding myself in spaces where I don't necessarily see that representation, whether it be because people are too scared to participate, or whether it be because people are intentionally shut out of those spaces. I'm really just here to be your example, to let you know that you are allowed to take up space as a plus size person, especially when it comes to fitness, because fitness doesn't have an aesthetic. Fitness is about how your body feels, it's about how you're able to take care of yourself, and fitness has way more benefits besides just weight loss. So I think this is where I want to end the video. It's mainly just a little quick introduction. Right now I'm at the stage where I'm working with my designer, and maybe as time goes on I might be able to share those designs and like a prototype. But I'm also working on my business plan, so I'll also be sharing stuff about how like I'm using the King's Trust to help me with my business plan. It's a really amazing organization. If you're in the UK and you're aged between 18 and 30 and you think you've got a really big like good business idea, I would recommend you get in touch with the King's Trust. I've been happy with my service so far, and I'm working on my business plan. So, you know, there are things that we're doing as well as actually creating the our hero product, which is going to be leggings. I've done primary research, you know, I've done my own survey, collected data, I've got secondary research, and yeah, I definitely know that once Refigure is birthed, it's going to have its own community, and you know, the girls that get it, and the girls that don't simply don't, and that is perfectly fine. There are other brands out there for you because yeah, you've got free will, so utilize it. But if you have ever felt like you were othered because you exist in a bigger body but you enjoy movement therapy, you enjoy fitness, then definitely join me along this journey, because I think you and I will be able to relate on a lot of things. And if you are someone who also maybe didn't have a lot of confidence when it came to starting a business because of your background, or maybe you don't necessarily come from a privileged background. You know, I am an immigrant. I come from South Africa. I used to be in foster care. And I'm literally building a life for myself by myself. You know, along the way I've accumulated some really good souls, you know, people I can call friends for life. But on a day-to-day basis, it's me, you know, doing this by myself. So if you're not really into fitness but you're into business and you want to build something for yourself but you don't feel like you have anyone to relate to or talk to about these kinds of things, then again, come on the journey with me. You know, like, a business plan is a business plan. If I'm doing a product based business and you're doing a service based business, all you're doing is swapping around the vocabulary, but we can build our business plans together. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can go through this journey together. And the whole purpose of this is just to showcase that, let me be your example, that it really doesn't matter where you come from. All that matters is where you're going. One of my favorite quotes is by Audre Lorde, and Audre Lorde says, if I didn't define myself for myself, I would be crunched into other people's fantasies of me and eaten alive. So I'll leave it at that. You can interpret that quote however you want to interpret it, but as for me, maybe in the next video, I'll tell you how I interpret that quote and why it's like such a powerful mantra for myself. But yeah, until then, thank you so much for spending this 10, 20, I don't know how many minutes I've been talking at you for, but thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will catch you at the next video. Now, I will say you have to bear with me because I am working alongside building the business, so I need to just figure out what my posting schedule will be, but I promise you I will be consistent because this is far beyond me. Like, I really want this to live and for this to be an example for other folks who might relate to me and identify with aspects of my story. Okay, so have a good day, night, afternoon, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.